In this video, we'll be talking about inverse functions. Definition: G is the inverse of f if f composition G of x is x and G composition f of x is x. Now some notes about inverses. F inverse is denoted as f with the superscript -1. Now this is not an exponent. When you see a function name with this superscript of -1, that means that you're talking about the inverse of f. If G is the inverse of f, then f is the inverse of G. The domain of f inverse is the range of f, and the range of f inverse is the domain of f. If a function has an inverse, it is unique. And then to find the inverse of a function, you first replace f of x with y, then interchange the x and the y, solve for y, and then replace y with f inverse x. And this will be the inverse. So let's do an example. We'll be finding the inverse of f of x equals 2 divided by x minus 5. So our first step is to replace f of x with y. So we'll do that. Our next step is to interchange x and y. So the y becomes x, and the x becomes y. Our next step is to solve for y. I'm going to multiply both sides by y minus 5. To remove it from the denominator. We can distribute. So xy minus 5x equals 2. We're solving for y, which means we want to isolate the term that y is in. So let's add 5x to both sides. So we have xy equals 2 plus 5x. And then we want to solve for y, so we're going to isolate y, divide by x. And we have y equals, this is 5x. 2 plus 5x divided by x, which gives us f inverse. Now let's do an example where we show that this function f and g are inverses. So we want to show that the composition f, composition g, we want to show that that's x. Now remember, when you do a composition, you put g into the f function. So we're going to start writing f, and then in place of x, we're going to put the g function, which is cube root of x over 4. Now, cubing a cube root, these are inverse operations, so we know that those go away, and all we have is x divided by 4. And then this 4 is in the numerator and this 4 is in the denominator, so those cancel. And we have just x. Now we need to continue and show that G composition F is also equal to x. So G composition F we want to put F into the G function. So we'll start writing our G function. And in place of x right here, we're going to put the f function, which is 4x cubed. Now the 4 divided by 4 will cancel, and we have cube root of x cubed, and then the cube root of a cube, those are inverse operations, and we have just x. Therefore, f and g are inverses.